Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Weigh-In. The title of today's episode is Twitter, Life Under Scrutiny.
So true, so true. Pretty heavy shit been going down with Twitter lately, man. I can't wait to hear some of the things you need to bring up, brother. Start off with some of the people who are culprits.
Yeah, so not culprits per se, but just I'm gonna talk about the big Twitter moments in the last few years,
Okay.
more or less people, and you'll kind of get a gist. Now, this is in no way an order of importance or relevance.
Sure.
This is just a list of people who are affected by Twitter.
I'll bring it on us, man.
George Floyd, Vanessa Guillen, Ahmaud Arbery, Central Park Karen, all the Karens, Sawyer Hartley, James Gunn, Kevin Hart, Everything 45th Did or Said, Kim Jong-un, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, the Cams, aka Citizens Against Masks, the Police, the Tiger King, Nick Cannon, T.I., Doja Cat, 6ix9ine, Elon Musk, COVID-19, aliens, Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, everybody who ever wore blackface, said something racially insensitive, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, or anything against pansexuals or they who identify as gender non-binary, white men, black men, women, Kanye West, kids, animals, the planet Earth, and last but not least, K-pop.
Holy shit.
Everyone who I forgot
about some of that.
In that little rant was affected by Twitter.
Well, it's amazing because there's always been this shit going on, right?
Yes.
But Twitter, everybody thinks it's like, they realize that you could get good publicity out of being an asshole sometimes. It could be career busters, but a lot of the people have been able to make money on this. And secondly, Kanye is not going to be 46. So I'm glad he decided he's dropped out of that.
Okay, so my first thing is, why don't celebrities and famous people understand yet that everything you say or do, especially on Twitter, is and will be used against you in the court of Twitter?
Because, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So, the Sawyer Hartley dude from The Flash,
yeah,
said some shit 10 years ago, bang, going from The Flash. James Gunn, who got to come back, but got fired. Nick Cannon had the anti-Semitic shit. Everybody, like, if you don't understand and you don't recognize that people are going to go back through your Twitter timeline, your Facebook, Instagram timeline, and find that fucked up shit that you said
and write it down.
Bang you out.
Yep. And a lot of people, newer people who are about to become super mega stars now that aren't on this list, they're gonna be a Twitter news feed. It's gonna be some.
Yeah, because this is
not over with.
Yeah, this is just a tiny portion.
Oh, yeah.
Just a microcosm of the people. Just think about the shit right now, the Nick Cannon shit. He had that super popular show, Wild 'N Out.
Yeah.
Fired.
Done.
MTV done because of the anti-Semitic shit. Like you can't do it. And I just don't understand. Like, I was watching this guy, Pagey. Salute to Pagey. He's got a YouTube page, awesome dude. And he was saying that you're big enough to have somebody that you can pay if you don't want to do it to yourself. If you don't want to do it yourself, go through your Twitter feed, and if you said some sketchy shit, because here's the thing,
fix it.
Yeah, delete it. Get it out of there. Because you don't get a chance to grow on social media.
Right.
If you said some shit back in the day, whether it was 20 years ago, whatever, that's how we're going to feel that you feel now, and you have to be canceled.
That's right. A lot of people don't have managers. They have money managers. They have their parents. They might
don't have
girls.
handlers.
They don't have proper handlers. People should be going through every single. If you're a handler, look, I handle 6 people, 7 people. I'm going to spend a couple weekends. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to tell you what I think. You tell me if we should get rid of it, because I'm here to make you better.
Yeah, and
we're going to pitch more good spin for you, not negative spin.
Yeah, and make sure you don't blow the bag.
Right.
Like, and not
now, some negative stuff is okay, though, but it can't be racial, it can't be anti-Semitic, whatever it is, can't be sexual or against. But if it's a little bit like, got in a fight with my girlfriend and we're back in love again.
Yeah, not like a fist fight, but like you were arguing and tabloid shit, then that's cool.
But you got to get rid of this shit that's not right in general right now.
Yes.
Because this is the worst time in the world for some of the things. Because the world is going through a correction right now. Yeah. America trying to fix its problems and everything.
And I could be wrong. And you're the first person I heard say it offline, and we may have mentioned it a tiny bit online. But the overcorrection. If you said anything that was out of place.
Explosion.
And there's like some documentation. There's a digital paper trail. Somebody's gonna find it.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna be petty enough to go through your whole 10-year timeline to find that one screwed up thing that you said and you erased.
Oh yeah, nuclear bomb right in your living room.
Yeah,
Done.
And you have like this kid woke up probably that day. The Sawyer Hartley dude, you know, he played elongated man. I'm sure they had no plans to get rid of him. You know, thinking that everything was cool. Somebody for whatever reason found the things that he said, and I'm not saying that the things that he said was cool. It was some screwed up shit.
He deserved it.
But at the same time, we're not saying that if this happened 5 or 7 years ago that he didn't grow from it. Who knows? I can't speak to his state of mind, but you need to have somebody that checks this stuff, because he woke up thinking everything was okay, and you know, he got a call like, you don't work for us anymore because we can't have what you said be a representation of this company, this $1 million, billion-dollar corporation.
You ruined your career.
You have to go.
Yeah.
And like, the dude was on the show for like 2 or 3 years. That means he could have had that erased. So any celebrity or any major outlet or anybody that's cool with a celebrity that may listen to this channel, let them know they need to go through every shred
Talk to your handler and have him go through
everything
it.
and go through it, because somebody's gonna be petty enough to go through and be like, "Yo, I'm erasing that."
That young kid that played the elongated man. Some of the problems he might have ran into is because of the fact that some people are so oblivious to what they say. They think it's okay to be racist, to make fun of black people, whatever it might be. So he thinks, I don't got to fix anything. I'm fine. I got the job. Everything's good. It's like, no, you're so oblivious to the reality of our world that, I hate to say it, you deserve the situation you're in. Because you got that far. You got the job. You got the casting call. You won.
Yeah.
But you fucking lost in the end.
Yes.
Now you're going to be flipping burgers or changing transmissions down the street.
Yes.
You know, good riddance. We don't need people like that around.
Okay. So the second thing I want to talk about, and I think this is the cool thing. Twitter has helped bring light to some of the cases and situations that may have fallen into the realms of media obscurity.
Yeah.
So number one in my mind is the Vanessa Guillen Ford Hood situation. To me, looking at the optics, unpacking it, meditating on it, I can't say for certain, looked like a cover-up.
Without a doubt.
You know, this is a woman, you know, on this military base, and you know, in a military base is a secure thing.
Supposed to be, yeah.
Everybody's supposed to know where everybody's at certain times. I'm guessing. I've never been on a military base.
No, you can't shit. They don't know if you're shitting. They know you're shitting. You know what I'm saying?
So this woman disappeared and no one knew.
They're full of shit.
And I feel the same way, brother. I feel someone knew and they covered it up. But the thing is, Twitter. And the woman's sister, you know, rest in peace to Vanessa Guillen. The woman's sister got on Twitter, and I remember seeing it. She got on Twitter and she was like, "Yo, this is my sister. This is what happened. Can somebody help me?" And the thing is, it got so big on Twitter, got into the trending. People started talking about it. I'm assuming people were calling, "What's going on? What's happening?" That they opened up the case, and then they found out that it was she was sleeping with a guy, and that guy killed her. That guy's girlfriend helped cover it up, but that never would have happened without Twitter. She would have just been a missing person, and that would have been it, you know? And I think that's beautiful. The same thing with...
Sometimes it works.
Yes, you know, the Central Park Karens, you know, doing all their racist shit, or, you know, the George Floyd, where somebody was able to have video. The first optics I got on the George Floyd situation was Twitter. The first video I seen was on Twitter. You know, I went to check my regular Twitter.
You probably saw the longer one before they cut it.
So I'm like, yo, what is this? And it was so popular, not to use that word, but it was so, you know, it was trending. It was popular. It was that you couldn't ignore it.
Yeah.
You couldn't suppress it. You couldn't hide it. So to me, Twitter's definitely good. It's definitely a good thing in that aspect to expose these things. There was 2 lynchings in California a couple months ago that I seen on Twitter. Correct. Lynchings.
Yeah.
A black man was hung.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't on Twitter, who would have said anything about it?
I heard about those. I didn't realize there was actually video they found. I thought they just had stills. Somebody saw the video.
No. It wasn't video. It was stills.
Okay.
You know, but still.
But still.
just the fact that
Shit.
the exposure is out there because of Twitter.
Well, it does a lot of good things, and if you're an asshole, it's gonna do a lot of bad things for your career.
Yes.
So you've got the tool that's gonna make you successful, but the same tool could bring you down.
So here's a
little bit of intelligence goes a long way.
Absolutely.
A little common sense is even better than college sometimes if you're not going to be a lawyer. I mean,
Absolutely.
seriously. A lot of these movie stars, they're pretty, they're cute, whatever it might be. That's why they're lucky. It's not that they're the smartest, sharpest knife in the drawer. You can tell all these people how they failed.
So this is my next thing. Is there such thing as privacy anymore?
Not really.
Especially with digital history being recorded.
Even the stuff they
Just
say
over
is private, it's not private.
everything.
Yeah.
If you Google some dirty porn, they got you. Google everybody. The algorithms are checking everything. So there's no such thing as privacy anymore. Which I guess we have to accept it because there's no way to get around it. Google, the alphabet, like they're so big. Every social media platform we talked about is so big. You can't escape it.
Well, because of the fact that everything is as large as it is, the Twitters and the Googles and all these other ones that are out there. Yeah, again, we're not dwelling on the fact that they have some negative aspect to their sites and everything. But what ends up happening is there's so much accessibility and there's so much being put out there globally. So no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you're gonna walk into a bad dead end once in a while, and you're gonna get in trouble, even if you're trying your best to be good. So because every now and then people slip and say like, fuck you, NIGGER, whatever it might be. It's like, done. You're over. I got you. Or you say like, you just make any kind of stupid comment.
You smack a girl on the ass. You a gay slur, whatever. You're caught. Somebody caught. Like you gotta move in a way where you gotta be on that type of time where you're like somebody's recording. So just either be a decent human being. Or just be wary because somebody's recording.
Right, and the fact that there is cameras running all the time, like you said, it's like, when are you going to realize that you now need to get your shit together?
Yeah.
It's not the Wild Wild West. I mean, obviously, sometimes with police officers and some people, they think it's the Wild Wild West where they can shoot, kill everybody. They treat black people like they're cats.
Not all, but some.
I know, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, but one of the cops who are bad, I'm not saying the good cops,
and I'm not,
when are you going to realize that somebody's filming you?
And Black Twitter, I'm not simping for the police, it just... we trying to give both perspectives.
Perspectives.
Yeah,
but if you're doing something wrong, you just stop if the camera's on you.
Because they're going to find out.
Yeah.
So, with that, how do you feel about Twitter and cancel culture? You're canceled. The party's over. Like Ronald McDonald, the party's over. We don't like... Cancel culture is people just getting canceled and a bunch of people on Twitter and social media saying we don't support this person anymore because they had this, indiscretion.
Yeah, well,
and that's primarily to the best of my, because the only social media platforms that I have is Twitter and Snapchat. I don't have Facebook or Instagram. Never had. I'm like a Zion baby in the Matrix. Never had that shit. But cancel culture is a thing. Yeah. And they will cancel anybody for anything. And even because think about this. Now I get it. Being half Native American, the Washington Redskins is like a smack in the face. I'm half Native American.
It's a smack.
So like that shit is just it's been fucked up. They should have been changed that a long time ago. So they're changing it now. Whatever. The ancient mama shit, I'm half, I say African because there's no such thing as black and I'm an American. And I don't use the term African American, but they're changing a lot of things, And I get it. Some of these people are more concerned with monuments and statues and actual people being murdered, which is just stupid. But I don't think cancel culture is healthy. But I think it's going to be persistent as long as people have a platform to voice their opinion from the safety of their own home. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want and type whatever the fuck I want because nobody can say anything and I'm isolated in my house.
They're like bullies, but they're not real bullies.
And you may even feel that shit at the moment, but the next day or a week later, you might not feel it. So people need to pause and just not and take and be like, before I tweet this out to the galaxy. You don't know how expansive that tweet may be or that post may be or whatever. Stop and think what you're doing. Don't do it if you're inebriated. Don't do it if you're emotional. if you're gonna put something out there, put good energy out there. And I don't know woo happy all the time shit, you know.
Well, there's a lot of people who got that tool to be able to do that stuff, but they're not.
Everybody's
really
got it. You got a smartphone, you got it.
I know, but the people don't realize it. It's just we're witnessing the things that are part of the problems of the growth of the internet and the way it's going. There will be a time where it'll relax a little bit, but until then, there's going to be people screwing up constantly.
So, and this is another thing, and 45th got into a lot of trouble with this.
Oh.
Twitter facts versus Twitter fiction. So, here's the thing. You don't get the full of what's going on. Like, take for instance, Megan Thee Stallion, young female rapper, Tory Lanez, young female rapper, they got into a situation. Guns were fired. There was a party going on. A whole bunch of shit. We can talk about it at a later time. We don't know what happened. So there's allegations against Tory Lanez. Did he shoot the gun? Did he have a gun? Was he shot out? What's going on? You know, the president says a lot of things where like the allegations are like, is this right? What's going on? Twitter is not held up to the same standards as a reputable journalistic media outlet would be. So people can say anything and you can believe it. So I think that's dangerous. You know,
well, that's why Twitter tries to stay on top of this.
You know, and that's why I've said many times, we've said many times in different episodes, social media is a gun. I don't think social media itself is dangerous, but in the hands of the wrong person, it can be.
Well, for the president, he's been able to get away with a lot until they put the smackdown on him a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, his cult will believe anything he says. And the more outrageous, it actually works better. So it shows how difficult it is to actually be legit in this world. Because, you know, but the owner of Twitter, I can't think of the fella's name, he knocks his shit down. He puts the tags on there.
Yeah, Jack Dorsey is one of the CEOs, the main CEO.
He's the main guy, yeah.
So he tries to put the clamps down.
And the other guys are all like scaredy cats. They're scared to stand up and do something. What's his name? Who owns Eisenstein? What's his name? Eisenberg, who owns Twitter, Facebook.
I know who you're talking
about. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
We just call him that dude. Mm-hmm. You know, he knows that a lot of people who are who stay at home and they do their little thing, they're pretty big on Facebook. Yeah. So it's not like the good people are on. Well, there's good and bad on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? So he sticks up for it, and a lot of shit gets done.
Yo, that was the way in. Twitter, you're under surveillance. Great topic. We might have to come back to this so much to say thank you for listening.
Yeah, we'll do a follow up. Thanks, folks. Be good.
And it's like the endogenous opioid system is activated. And that's neurotransmitters, that's hormones. And fun fact, I did a little research, and obviously the biggest hormone is dopamine, but there are 30 active parts of the brain that are involved during an orgasm.
Wow.
30 different parts of the brain.
Because I was going to ask you, I said, is you know, when you're having your intimate relationships with a female or a male, whatever you're into, is that the only time in our life as an organic being that we actually have that many things coming to life, like these 30 different things happening? Is there anything that even comes close to it? I'm going to guess probably not. Because this is really like the script. If you were a script writer for a computer, you're script writing here.
I can't say for certain, but I know it's definitely got to be up there in tier as far as like brain activity.
I would think so.
You know, like unless you're like a grandmaster chess player, or you know, or like a race car driver, you're doing something that's activating like parts of your brain and it's taking all of your focus.
But I wonder if fear and injury also ignites some things. But obviously,
it's definitely still the arousal system that's getting.
It's still a form of it, right? 30. That's pretty fantastic.
30. That's a lot going on. Because sex.
And I feel it. I know you feel that.
Like people, there's a misconception. Like sex is in the brain.
Sure.
Like everything that's happening, everything that you feel starts in the brain. Sex is obviously a physical thing, there's organs and parts and things moving and but sex is in the brain. For what you see, what's stimulated, it's all in the brain.